I get a lot of emails. A lot of people write me um, on Facebook and off my website. And it's very flattering. It's very sweet. And often, what is so interesting about it is I will get these questions like this, like, how do I deal with my spouse leaving me or cheating on me? Or how do I know if I'm in my head or my heart? Or how do I find my purpose? Or how do I know if I'm in the right situation? Or how do I know if it's time to stay in a relationship or leave it? And I think about it, and I think the person that's asking me has spent their entire life with themselves. And if you're asking about a relationship, you've spent years with that person, possibly. If you're in your job that you're wondering if you should leave, you've spent years there. You know more about what's calling you. And then they ask me, and I know a paragraph, like literally, hey, my husband, blah, 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 what do I do? I'm like, I don't know anything other than your paragraph. I don't know anything about who you are, what you feel, what you believe, whatever. And at my events, I help people remember those things about themselves, because I never answer a question. I never say, oh, you should leave, or you should. I don't do that. I go, well, what in you is asking that question? But it's so interesting because one of the first things I notice is that when a person usually asks me that question, they aren't asking about themselves. They're asking about the circumstance. Like, how do I deal with this thing? Or what do I do? And we all have a million different routes trying to unfold for us every day and new information. And all I can share is my experience. And life is trying to unfold for you in your own specific, amazing, unique way. And if I answered which way you should go, I would only be able to do it based on my life experience. But the same part of people that thinks that their circumstance is bigger than who they are is the same part of them that would ask someone outside for an answer. Because I am not bigger than you, and your circumstance is not bigger than you. So what I invite people to do is reroute their question. Reroute their question to something inside. For instance, what is calling to me? What do I hope this person says? What bigger do I believe under this thing? What is a thing I believe under this thing? Like when people go, I can't believe that person's doing it. Maybe you should ask, what in me thinks that person shouldn't be doing that? Because they are. That's where your problem is. So most people don't ask themselves questions about themselves. And one question, I always talk about this, Michael Beckwith taught me this question, I do live there. What's trying to emerge out of me? This problem only exists in me because I don't know something about me yet. And when I ask that question, there's a lot of patience required. And what I invite people to do when they have a question is ask yourself the answer. And then close your eyes, ask it, and then wait. And sometimes your body doesn't want to answer that question because there's a much bigger one trying to come through. So open up even more to your body's going to give you answers maybe that you weren't even asking. They aren't necessarily answers you want, but they're answers you need. But I'm not here to give people answers to those things. I'm here to just express things I'm realizing about myself, and hopefully that can contribute to you remembering that you have the answer to everything. You do. Sit with that for a minute. What if you had the answer to everything you should do in your life? And what if you've never experienced being attached and connected to that, and today could be the first day where you actually practice and become patient and not try to find the answer as much as you try to find you. Don't try to find the source of the answer to that problem. Try to find the source of you, the source of your connection to yourself, the source of... My dog joins in all the time right here. The source of your soul, the source of... These problems show up and these questions show up and they affect you much more because you don't know about your connection to you. And remember, when you ask me a question, you have your entire history of information with you, and I have your question. So why would you think I would know the answer better than you do? So, and that goes with everyone. Asking your parents what you should do, asking your friends what you should do. They aren't feeling what you're feeling. They don't know about your body telling you it wants to do a thing. They don't know about all everything. And when we go, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do outside world? We get in the practice of ignoring ourselves and not asking ourselves what we should do. So that's my invitation. I'm just here to continually point the arrow back to yourself. And I'm here to be a space where we immerse ourselves in ourself, because weirdly, you'll start to realize the more you go inward, the more you get the same answer as other people who have their arrow pointed at themselves. Because you'll start to see we're more and more connected, and eventually you'll start to realize we all want the same thing. In a unique way. But the real answer is what expands consciousness, what expands the world, what will undo these egoic structures, what will create a new space of love and possibility. That's what you are under these questions, that the answer to those questions don't matter. You matter. Ask yourself the deeper questions, and then watch how those circumstances answer themselves.